So I am not a person who's very good at slowing down my thinking, shall I say. Stop thinking is absolutely out of my ability, even when I would like it to be. So whenever I have read things where they talk about you need to meditate at least 30 minutes a day, or 20 minutes a day, or 10 minutes a day, it pretty much blows my mind up, to be perfectly honest. And years ago, quite a few years ago now, I realized though, I got the point that I needed something to center myself. And I guess one of the messages I want to start out by saying is everyone is different for what works for them to do this. And I kept trying to fit myself into this meditate, 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 yoga, yoga, yoga. And this is not to knock either one of those things, or mindfulness, anything like that. I think everything in that category is great, and there's certain elements I can apply to me, but for the most part, it does not work for me. It does not work. In fact, all it does is get me more aggravated, which kind of defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do. So what I realized is I had to find things that would allow me to have that same effect on me, center me, ground me, maybe relax me, that maybe weren't what people traditionally said. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. One of the things that I discovered is I started putting books. Every morning I have tea. By now you probably know I'm a very avid tea drinker. And I would come in at that particular time, I would come back from walking, or sometimes I would do it before I walked a couple of miles. And I would sit down with my tea, and on that table, I would have a stack of books that I would call sometimes my positive books. And they were anything that made me feel good, think clearly, positive, help me get my brain to fall into place. Honestly, a lot of them were sometimes business books, or ones written by inspirational people. There were a number of different categories that they fell in. Some of them I had read 20, 30 times probably. Parts of them probably 50 or 100 times. But they were books that for some reason I connected. They weren't fiction. They were usually something along the lines of, positive thinking, changing your life, etc., etc. For me, that worked. So I would sit down with my tea and with my positive book, and sometimes there was one I was reading through, sometimes I just randomly grabbed one. And the other thing I frequently do to this day when I do this is open the book, if it's a book I know extremely well and have read over and over and over again, and I open it to the page. I just open it, and I know it kind of sounds a little woo-woo, but I found that when I did that, where the book opened was frequently at least one of the things I needed to hear that day. So it was much easier than me over analyzing it. Also, I don't know if I want to say a problem, but a challenge I have overthinking things about what book should I read, what section of this book should I read, etc., etc., etc. So if I just grabbed a book that I was in the mood to connect with and opened it up, there it was. Sometimes I could only read for 10 minutes. And what I did find is I could always spare 10 minutes. Always could spare 10 minutes. 20, 30, an hour, maybe 30 minutes on a good day. And like I said, before or after I went on my walk. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is I do believe all of us need to take time to get grounded in a way that works for us. You probably know I say it, I write it a lot. One size does not fit all. Not that I coined that phrase, but you certainly know what it means. So everyone's path is very, very different, and you have to find how to get that same goal in a way that works for you. So maybe that gives you some thoughts. as to how you can meditate or get centered or get focus to begin, or even maybe it's later in the day for you. But hopefully that helps. Good talking with you.